Welcome to Take It from the Ironwoman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Ironwoman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Ironwoman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Ironwoman. We only have special guests, and today we really have a treat with Avalon. She's a rising senior at Yale University, majoring in applied physics with a certificate in medieval studies. She's also a cappella singer with the Wiffenpoofs, the oldest American cappella group. And she's going to go on a journey soon. Welcome, Avalon. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And it feels like your background is so colorful. How come everything is so colorful?
Oh, well, hi, Suzanne. Thank you for having me on your podcast. It's pretty exciting to actually get to be on a podcast as a college student. I do a lot of different things. I feel like they're all like somewhat not always connected, but they're all very different. There's, I don't know, it's a important part of life to just like explore and like figure out things that you like, try new stuff. I feel like all of the things that I do now are because I pushed myself to try something new, and I ended up enjoying it more than I thought. The main things I do at Yale and on my free time is I really enjoy writing fiction. I sing with different acapella groups at Yale. There's a large acapella culture at Yale. I like to do building stuff. So that's why I'm doing an applied physics degree, because I wanted to have a lot of physics background, a little bit more than maybe a pure engineering degree might give me. But I also really enjoy building stuff. So applied physics is sort of in the middle between those two things. Someday I hope to go to engineering grad school, get certified.
And have you always been interested in the STEM?
My main interest in STEM started when I was in middle school, because by that point I was starting to mature, really enjoy school. I really like to write, and like writing stories and fiction poems. That was one of my favorite pastimes. I read like a monster. I would read 35 books a year as a fifth grader. That was my pastime, was reading and writing. But I talked to my parents, they'd be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know, maybe a writer. And the more that I thought about it, and the closer I got to high school and to college, maybe writing wasn't the only thing that I wanted to be able to do. I wasn't sure that I would want to sit at a desk for the rest of my life and write, as much as I love to do it. What other things are actually interesting to me similarly as interesting? I sort of started realizing that, I kind of really enjoy the physics parts of my science classes. And so when I got to high school, I took some science classes that were just physics, advanced physics, which was the 10th grade version of physics, and then our high school's equivalent of physics. I like both of these things, writing and physics, and I don't really feel like giving up on either of them. I just started doing my best to do both. I also didn't want to give up on music after I started to learn to play the trombone in middle school. I started to move my singing out of the shower in high school. I like all of these parts of myself, and I'd rather not have to pick one.
So you're using the left side and the right side of the brain equally.
I guess so.
If you love the writing, eventually we all have to write. Even as an engineer or in physics, you have to write. If you like the writing, then it might come even a little easier. It's a very good combination. And tell us about the interest in medieval studies.
I've always liked history, particularly sort of weird parts of history. I don't know, off the beaten path type stuff, strange occurrences, or I don't know, unsolved stories, things like that. But I also have always really liked just sort of the concept of medieval stuff. When I was a kid, my parents took me to a Ren fair. I thought that was great. I had so much fun. I just think that part in history is really interesting, since like a lot of things are moving around. A lot of stuff is changing over about 1,000 years, a couple hundred years. And so I just thought it would be a really cool thing to keep learning about. At Yale, I didn't want to just take physics classes because I wasn't going to double major in English. I started just taking classes outside of my major. And in sophomore year, I took a class called Dantean Translation, which was a whole overview of the Divine Comedy. We read all 3 sections in one semester and talked through them and what they mean, stuff from the period that Dante inserted into his poems and stuff like that. And I just thought it was so fun. I just had such a great time. I realized that I really wanted to learn more about that period of time. And I realized that Yale had a medieval certificate, which is basically the equivalent of a minor in medieval studies. And since I wasn't able to double major in English, I was, oh, great, I can do humanities stuff, still get a degree and do something that I really enjoy. I've taken a lot of different courses to fulfill that, not all in Italian medieval literature. I took an archaeology class about the Mongolian steppe. I took a class on the performance of early music. Next semester, I'll be taking a class called Introduction to the Occult Sciences, which will count for my degree. I took like a pure history course on the early Middle Ages from 284 to 1000, really specific, but it was really cool. I feel like I've just learned a lot about so many different regions and so many different time periods from doing this certificate. It's been really cool for me.
I love that. Very old and the very modern. And there is this CEO of the Swiss Hublot watch. His name is Jean-Claude Biver, and he says, you have to combine the very old with the very new. When they had the Louvre Museum in Paris, they added those pyramids. I don't know, now it's almost 20 years ago, probably. People would not go to the museum anymore. But now that they added those pyramids, people want to see the pyramid. So it's very clever. You're actually also bridging the very old with the very new and with the experiment. Wonderful. And the writing.
Next semester, we'll be taking an independent study in English, or tutorial in writing, it's called. But basically, I'll be spending the semester doing long form writing, so like longer than a short story. I'm pretty excited. I think it's gonna be fun. I picked some books for myself to read, like The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, Tender is the Flesh, I forget the author's name for that one, Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So I was trying to pick books that would be sort of fantasy, sci-fi, but also make an attempt to make commentary on real life as well.
That will be your book?
Maybe. I'm trying.
You can always self-publish. That's what I do.
Oh, really? Oh, I'd love to read it.
Why not? I think a lot of people, they always say, obviously, you're spending a whole semester. Why not publish that book? Why not share it? I'm happy to help you with the self-publishing. It's fairly easy.
Oh, thank you. We'll see if I finish
it can
it by
be
the
easy.
end.
Now let's talk a little bit about the music and the upcoming travels and Wiffenpoofs. What kind of a name is that? Sounds so funny.
Yes. When I was in the spring of my junior year of college, so about a little over a year ago, I auditioned outside of my underclassmen acapella group for the Yale Whiffenpoofs. So the Yale Whiffenpoofs are at least the United States' oldest collegiate acapella group, if not the world. We have not figured that out yet, for sure. We've been operating since 1909. Every year, the group turns over with new singers. As we're nearing sort of the end of our year, and I'm nearing the end of my gap year, after the summer I'll go back to finish my senior year. We're heading out on our largest tour yet, and our final one for the Whiffs 2024. So we'll be traveling the world. It's our world tour in the summer of 2024. And we're basically going everywhere.
Where are you going to be?
Our first stop is Japan. The next stop is Korea. We have over 20 stops that we're making. I can't remember them all, but we're going all sorts of places. New Zealand, Australia. I'm planning Dublin, Ireland, and Cape Town, which I'm really excited about. I think they're going to be great. I've organized for us to go see some penguins in Cape Town, which I'm very excited about. It is going to be the trip of a lifetime, especially because all we get to take with us are a carry-on and a personal item for 3 months.
A carry-on and a personal item. So it seems like you're performing, so you need to have a nice dress.
The Wiffenpoofs traditionally wear white tie and tails. So within our carry-on, not only do we have to fit enough stuff to last us that we can wash, do whatever, but we also have to bring an entire white tie and tails and dress shoes. You'll see us around the world singing in white tie and tails. We tie our own bow ties. I think we're very proud of that. It's hard to learn. We'll be performing at places like the Sydney Opera House, which is going to be really amazing.
Wow, congratulations. And how long will it be? You said 20 stops. How long will you be traveling?
Yes. So we will be on world tour starting on May 20th through about August 18th. Mm-hmm. But you can find all the dates of our shows on our website and where we'll be, so you can keep track of us there, or also on our Instagrams. Maybe a little bit after each stop, we'll post something to tell you about our travels. But our website is just www.wiffenpoofs.com. Wiffenpoofs is spelled Wiffenpoofs. But you can find us there.
This is so exciting. May 22nd to August. So probably 3 months. And packing for 3 months, this is not much.
No. Basically, how I've been doing it, I feel like everybody has their own strategy. Mm-hmm. But I've just been trying to find clothes or things that have multi-purposes. So like pants that I can hike in, but that also look nice enough that I could like go out to eat somewhere if we're not in a hiking city or things like that. We get creative with how we pack.
Or can you buy something? That's what I probably would do. Cheat a little bit.
One of us was actually joking that we sell shirts and merchandise and stuff like that for people at our shows usually. On a world tour, we won't be able to bring those things with us. But so one of us was suggesting, I won't pack any of my clothes or any shirts. I'll only pack Wiffenpoof merch. And every time we need to sell a shirt, I'll take one out of my suitcase and I will buy a new shirt. He will be bringing his own clothes, but we've thought about it.
And so you're going to bring a computer, a phone. What else will you bring?
I'll probably bring this computer that I'm talking to you on now. Mm-hmm. Phone. I have absconded my mother's Kindle, so I'll be able to read books hopefully during our time away. A lot of us use our iPads to read sheet music and make notes on them. So I'll probably bring mine in case I need it to learn music on and stuff like that.
When you perform, will it always be the same, or do you have different location, different songs that you will be performing?
Over the course of our year, we've probably learned about 30 songs, maybe a little more, a little less. We have a little over an hour and a half of music. The longest show we do is usually an hour and a half. All of us know multiple solos, and so we switch up the singers and the set list every time we perform.
Is there any favorite that you have?
Ooh, I love to solo on Rainbow Connection. It's also my mom's favorite song that she likes to hear me sing with the group. I really enjoy performing a song called Moon Dance. That one is by, oh my God, what's his name? Van Morrison. So I really enjoy performing Moon Dance by Van Morrison. I think it's a really fun arrangement. It's hard, but it's really fun.
Can we get a taste?
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. It sounds a lot different without everyone else singing behind you.
We can envision. Thank you so much. This is such an honor to have that on our show.
Worries.
So you said you have read 35 books in a year. What books will you download?
That was when I was very young and had lots of for school.
What kind of books have you downloaded on the Kindle of your mom?
I haven't downloaded any for myself yet, but I do have a couple books. I've been trying to finish The Lord of the Rings for a while. They're some of my favorite movies. I've got about 200 pages left out of like 1,031. So we're getting there. I'm hoping to download that one so that I can finally finish reading The Lord of the Rings. And I will be both a movie fan and a book fan finally.
We just want to wish you a wonderful trip, a safe trip for the whole what do you call it? Team, troop, or what is the name?
We just call it, we're like the Wiffenpoofs, the Whiffs, the group.
The Whiffs. Okay, so safe travels for the Whiffs. And
thank you very much.
We're going to follow you and just enjoy, right? Don't think too much. Just enjoy.
Yes, I'm hoping to. Okay. Thank you so much for having me on to your podcast. I'm so happy to talk to you.
What a cool conversation. And she was singing for us. How great is that? Thank you so much. And safe travels. Enjoy every single moment. Take it from the Ironwoman. We have episodes every Monday. We have the coolest people from around the world. And Take It from the Ironwoman is also the book Global Business Coaching with Sports Parallels. Download it on your Kindle while you're traveling or buy it in your local bookstore. Thank you for your support and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.